Okay, I saw Erica for a moment, but
Mm-hmm. I saw her for a moment.
yeah, but she must have was having some trouble, so hopefully she'll hop back in. Okay, so we get to cover the like nuts and bolts today. So it's going to be a lot of um, just education in a way. So if you guys have any questions, please like just interrupt me and ask, but we're going to be covering very much the nuts and bolts of regulated living, what that means, what that looks like, how we do it. So, how'd your guys' week go? Let's first talk about that.
Pretty good. I don't look like a newborn lamb or calf standing on one leg
Okay, well,
anymore.
you've had both of those, or what?
No, we haven't, but I know what it's like. That's what I felt like when I started practicing
Oh, got
on
it.
one foot.
Yes. Okay.
So, no, it was a
Good.
good week
Good.
for me.
Get some balance going. Nice. Anything else that we've adopted in or eliminated out that's no longer working for us?
Mm.
What do you got, Penny? Anything happen this week? Are you done with estate planning yet?
Oh, I'll never be done.
Yeah, that's what Susan
Done
said
with that.
before too. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Um, no, I got a lot done today. Or not today, this week. Just office stuff mainly. That all the piles that of things I don't want to deal with. I
Yeah.
just decided going to deal with it, and that feels really good. It's freeing to have
100%.
Mhm.
some of that stuff not bothering me all night long.
Weighing on you. Yeah, for sure. Good. Good. All right, Erica, what's good about this last week? What worked for you? Okay, maybe we'll wait till Erica's back on. Can't see her or hear her.
I
Okay,
saw her for just an
I
instant and
know
then
she's
she was
back
gone.
on now, but okay, can you guys see my screen?
Yep.
Awesome. Okay, so regulated living. This is something that obviously is it's something to embrace. It's a paradigm. It's a way of living. It's wholesome living, aligned living. I mean, you can put a lot of different terms on here, but I use regulated mainly because we're talking so much nervous system right now. So we're living in a way that supports your nervous system's ability to move in and out of stress. And this is what I was talking about with adaptability. That term is so important because it's not that we don't go into stress, it's that we go in easily and come out easily. We move in and out of things well. We go into it, we don't like force ourselves into it. It just like it's natural. It's very perceived and easy to do where you can get stuff done and you can come out really easy and heal up and then you come into balance. This is what adaptability is, and this is what we want our nervous systems to be able to do easily. When it happens, then we have much less dis-ease. We have a lot of ease through our body, a lot less muscle tension, a lot easier on your breath, like your heart rate's better, more again adaptable. Digestion is better, like the whole function, everything functioning in your body starts to change when you have high adaptability. We'll just say that you can start to see what you actually want. So your goals come back into play. You can see them. It feels right. It's not what someone else is telling you what to do. It's what feels good in your body. When you're highly adaptable, you can quickly recognize what is right for you and what's not. And that was another piece is discernment. You can start to really feel what's right for you, feel what doesn't feel right to you. You start to know what your body is telling you. I think this is the biggest thing, and especially I'm sure I see it more because of my line of work, with people come to me with body stuff. But your body is such a good whisperer of what's going on in not only in your world but in your inner self. It's, by the time pain shows up, we have some major problems. There's usually a whisper before. and we maybe aren't hearing it. But once you become quite regulated, you start to hear these things quicker and they're louder. So there is that piece. Like if you don't listen and you're in a regulated living state and you don't listen to what your body's telling you, it will shout at you. It's pretty hard to ignore. So it's a quicker, almost like a quicker response that you can like make changes to become more aligned again. Why do you think people want this? I mean, why does this even sound that fun right now?
Well, it's not fun to be in pain,
Well, no.
and you
Yep.
just try to find a way out of it.
Yeah. Because we want to feel good. So regulated living doesn't necessarily mean you're out of pain,
Okay.
which is interesting, right? So why would
Hmm.
that, like, why would somebody want to be living in a regulated way?
Hmm.
Pain is a big thing, right? Like I mean totally get what you're saying, and yes, like we
Well,
want to be out of that. We want this ease and comfort for sure.
probably things just flow more easily.
We want balance,
Yeah. What and balance would give us what?
peace,
Yeah.
calming, clarity.
Clarity, all those things, right? Yep. Yeah, so as you're living in this regulated area, you very rarely have a regret. You very rarely have guilt for something.
Huh.
You very rarely have shame. Those are some emotions that we oftentimes push down into our physical bodies and then don't let them come out. But we very rarely have those because we're functioning from a state of, like you said, Erica, balance, from a state of truth, from a state of like wholesomeness. Like this is just who I am. I can't regret it. It's who I am. So you're functioning more often from that state than any other. And I think that's probably one of the biggest things that that makes life a lot easier from here on out. If you can become this regulated person, knowing that, yeah, stress is going to come and we're going to roll with it. And then it's going to be time to relax and we're going to roll with it. It's totally fine. It's the way life is. It's not, but my internal self doesn't have to waver so much. That is your strong suit. That's your foundation, is you. And then the whole world can totally spin tornadoes around you and you can still stay pretty regulated and at peace. Okay. So there's 4 pillars to regulated living. We have the physical pillar, we've got the mental pillar, emotional, and then the environmental pillars. And we're going to go through each one of these, but they are all very, very important. Not saying that they all need to be worked on all the time, but they're very important when it comes to increasing not your adaptability, increasing your nervous system capacity, increasing your stress management, all of these things. You can do so much to increase your capacity for your nervous system to handle stress. And we're going to get into each one of them. So let's talk about physical regulation first. This is the bread and butter, right? This is what we can see. So like it's way easier to notice the things that we need to change when it comes to nutrition, when it comes to movement. We're going to talk about some supplements today. Not by no means are these my favorite things to talk about. They are supplements. They are not a replacement to anything. They are extra. And then body-based services on how to improve your physical regulation. So the biology of this is what's important. So when we talked about cells, so we want our cells to be healthy. That's what the physical piece of all of this does. It improves the functionality of our cells. Our cells get healthier. When our cells get healthier, we get healthier in general, okay? So first we're going to talk about nutrition. There are times you ladies are moving in between aroused and under aroused. So this is kind of tough, and this is why you need to really pay attention to how you're feeling that day, or just take note of how your week has been. If you've had a week of pretty high tension, then you would consider yourself in the over aroused state. So what you would want to do when it comes to nutrition is, first off, look at the timing of your food, and secondly, look at like I'm going to say consistency of your food. I'm not even talking about eat fruits and vegetables, eat meats, eat the clean stuff. Of course, all that's important. But the timing, you guys, is so critical when it comes to your nervous system. When you're over aroused, and we talked about this the other day because I wasn't going to have supper last time, right? Because I knew that I was over aroused. So I needed to limit my food. If you're finding that you're having a ton of muscle tension, close the window on the number of hours that you eat. That's going to make the bigger difference than even what you're eating all the time. I'm not telling you to go and eat McDonald's and all the things, but you guys, like, close that window, whatever you're doing during that time, like, eat it up and then be done. There's a reason why at night we're going into the parasympathetic state to heal. However, if we just had a big meal before we went to bed, we're not healing, we're digesting our food. So then we wake up feeling groggy because we digested food all night without any movement, by the way. So the only way we're digesting it is just strictly through our digestion, our guts having to do this on their own, not movement. So we're having a hard time, not even just a hard time, but over period of time, you're going to start having a lot of digestion problems. So I would close the window of how much of your eating time. So whether it's, you guys will play with this. Like, this is an experiment because everyone is very different. But rule of thumb, don't eat 2 to 3 hours before you go to bed. Nothing. Water, tea is fine. Warm drinks are fine, but nothing with any calories to it, really. I'm not a calorie person. I don't know why that word came out of my mouth, but you know what I'm saying. A bite of peanut butter or some honey before you go to bed. Nothing like that. Try to extend the window of your eating time, or not eating. If you're in an over aroused state, you want a larger period of time of you not eating. This goes back to the Bible, you guys. This is not new information. Fasting is not new. And yes, they've put a ton of terms, like 16/8 and like all these different timings, whatever. The reason that you did it is when you were overly aroused and having to really figure some things out, you don't want your energy to be going to digesting food. So food is beautiful. Food is fuel. There's nothing wrong with food. It's lovely, but the timing is what's really important when it comes to neurologically supporting your neurology. Okay. When it comes to under aroused, this is where if you could have more meals a day. But do you remember the Weight Watchers, guys, where it was like 5 meals a day? Like, I don't know if you guys remember that.
I remember that. Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And there's no science supporting that at all. I can't find anything. I don't know where that came from, other than you're eating all day. So which means your body never stops digesting food. Snacking, okay. And this is another thing I've talked to my sister, or actually more my mom. But I didn't grow up eating snacks a lot. And now kids eat all day long. And when a kid's hungry, they should eat. Like, I'm not saying that, but just think of what that's doing to their neurology, though. They are never not digesting food. The energy is only going to their guts all day long when they're eating all day long. So just something to think about on that piece. The under aroused, remember, is low energy. Okay, so your shut down brain fog is an issue. So you're going to really think you do want to eat here if you're having some issues with that. I've seen research actually supporting the opposite as well, but you can try it. But eating really nutritious foods is really, I'm talking like drinks, right? Some really, I have like fruits and greens in here, some drinks, some fish, fruits and vegetables, those sorts of things are okay. Oh, another thing in the over aroused state is that you want it, I talked about texture. If you're super stressed, I'm not a smoothie person per se. I'm not, I love soups. I know that we need to chew our food, right? But when we're eating raw fruits and vegetables, our bodies are not ready to digest in an over aroused state.
Mhm.
So we want to flash cook them. We don't want raw fruits and veggies during this time. Also, red meats, love red meat. I think there's so much benefit in red meat. However, if you just, came off something stressful or drove for a long time, we'll say, and you're feeling kind of stressy and kind of gross, those things are really hard to digest. And I'm talking the stomach digest the food to like break it up. When we are in an overaroused state, our body does not produce enzymes to break down food. So then we eat when we're stressed. We can't break it down. We swell up because the rest of our organs are trying to do the digestion for us, and our stomach didn't do enough. And then we have, backup and a lot of problems there. So if you're having any issues with stomach problems and you know that you're over aroused, I would really, really think about the two things. First off, eating broken up food. Secondly, changing the time and not shortening that window of how much time in the 24-hour period that you're eating. Any questions on this one? This one is super key. We're good? Okay.
Yep.
Okay, so we're going to hop into the supplements here. So I already talked about the digestive enzymes because when your nervous system is, hey, we're going to go fight some tigers right now. We're going to, have a fight with my husband. We're going to whatever, especially like right before lunch is a big one. Breakfast is like you come off of waking up in the morning. A lot of times you're kind of ready to eat, right? You're maybe not super stressed right away. But if you're finding that you're super stressed right away in the morning and it's like this pattern, then do this. Digestive enzymes are going to support you through the digestion, meaning that it's putting some enzymes in your stomach. So you're going to eat it before or take them before you eat, which helps digest your food. Now, here's the deal. This is not something that I want you on forever. We want your body to start producing its own things. That's why it's a supplement. It's not forever, okay? But I know that the life comes in waves. Things go up and things come down, right? Like stress goes up, stress comes down. If you're going through a harder time and want to help your body regulate, enzymes can really help with that. The other one is magnesium glycinate and citrate, or magnesium citrate. Two very different things. Here's the deal. Magnesium glycinate is amazing for your neurology. It calms your nerves down. That's what magnesium does in general. So it helps calm your nervous system down. I wouldn't take it so much if you're more in the hypo-aroused state, right? The under-aroused state. But if you're having some issues with that, magnesium citrate is going to help you go to the bathroom. So we want things to continue to move out of your body. When you're in an over-aroused state, you do not think about pooping. Okay? Your body doesn't go there very often. And if it does, it shoots it right out, right? You've got two things going on there. We want to make sure that you're clearing your system out, because if you are not, then that's going to bog down everything else, including, the flushing of all the toxins that you're trying to eat. You're sweating, you're moving, you're thinking, all the things that we produce waste with everything, but we need it to move out of our system. So you want to do some magnesium citrate for that. The other thing about magnesium that maybe you didn't know was when our body is in a stressful state, it pulls magnesium from our stores to calm it down. It's a natural calmer. Where do you guys think magnesium is at in the body? What tissues do you think magnesium is in?
Would say your muscles.
Yes. So it's pulling the nutrients from your muscles,
Okay.
and then we're complaining of muscle tension,
Okay. Because
right? Makes sense. But yet there's one other place that it pulls from, and this is a big one for women. It's your bones. So it's
sure.
pulling magnesium from your bones to calm itself down. It's our natural way to balance our nervous system, is to pull nutrients from our stores to calm our neurology. Our body is so smart in that because it wants to keep us alive. However, we start to break down, and this is where the breakdown happens when I'm talking like over periods of time of these dysregulated nervous systems. Like, these are the things we see happening. It all started with a dysregulated nervous system, osteoporosis, all those things started with a dysregulated nervous system first. Okay. The other one is electrolytes. And I know electrolytes are like a hype word right now. You guys are going to love me for this. Sea salt is an electrolyte. So instead of spending thousands of dollars on electrolytes all the time, you can just increase your sea salt consumption and you'll probably be okay. I love my electrolytes. I'm not going to lie. I like very, very clean ones, but just because I don't like drinking water all the time. But if you have a healthy water system, like a good water system, you'll be okay. And I'm not talking reverse osmosis. I know a lot of people ask me about that. So reverse osmosis water has absolutely nothing in it. So it's clean, but you have to put salt in there, electrolytes in there. You have to replenish the nutrients in the water because it doesn't have anything in it. Okay, and then we're going to hop into the herbs. So ashwagandha and rhodiola are really great for balancing your cortisol levels and and nervous system. We'll just say that. Lemon balm is also a calmer of the nervous system, and it's a great supporter for your liver. So these are quite inexpensive. I'm not telling you to necessarily need to go buy all of them or anything, but they are a supporter. So if you are going through something stressful, grab your toolbox, right? You don't have to use these all the time, but use them when you can. A lot of the herbs, they come in tea form too. So if you're a tea drinker, you can drink some tea with these things. The lemon balm is usually a tincture. So I just drop that into whatever I'm drinking, something hot. And the other two I take in a supplement form.
So
Ashwagandha tastes like it does not taste good to me. Yeah.
So the gut health deal, when you said, you really don't want someone to be on them all the time.
The digestive enzymes?
Yeah.
Yeah. No, because we want your body to learn how to do it.
Do it.
Yeah. But it won't when it's in a stressed mode. Yes.
So it's up to us to determine if I'm in a stress mode, then I take it. Is that what you're saying?
Right. Or if you're like, hey, like I ate a meal yesterday and I felt bloated instantly.
Okay. All right. That's the answer I wanted. When you don't feel, when your stomach does not feel good, then you can.
You can take it. Take it before your meals. 30 minutes before your meal, like prepping your stomach for it,
Okay.
But that's a big thing. And eventually, as you live this way for a while, I would like you to not need them, right?
Okay.
But, especially when you're traveling or any time that you know that you're going to be a little bit off, even if you're having the best time of your life, right? Excitement still can show up as a little bit of cortisol rush, right? So going out to eat with your friends or a concert or, in the airport, these places, it's a great place to have digestive enzymes with you just to support your nervous system through it. Because once you eat and you become inflamed, your nervous system gets higher,
Mm-hmm.
so it almost like counteracts what you're trying to do. So it's a nice tool to have, just have them in your car or where you might be needing them more often, in your purse.
Where do you just get them off of Amazon or
I use Nutridyne for most of my supplements. I can give you guys the link to
brand.
that.
Okay.
That's the brand I use. Yeah, it's one that you have to be a licensed something to sell it. It's one of those kind of brands. You're looking for hydrochloric acid, Penny.
Okay.
HCl is really what you're looking for.
Okay.
The magnesium glycinate and citrate, that I also get from Nutridyne. The citrate, Give me 1 second. I can't remember the brand.
Penny, Kayla she sells gut health products, through Arbonne too.
Um, okay, so it's Meg '07.
Okay.
That's if I'm thinking I need citrate. And I use bio optimizers. And actually, I did get this just off of Amazon. Great, great product.
And that one is what?
It's from bio optimizers. They have a capsule form and they also have a powder form. This is a multi magnesium that would have everything. The citrate I keep on hand. Like, so some people have certain symptoms that show up when they're dysregulated, and I get very constipated is my issue. So that's why I've got just straight up magnesium citrate for some help with that. But I've taken some magnesium citrate and it doesn't do anything for me. So it's one of those things. It's kind of like pillows. Everyone asks me what pillow I should have, and I'm like, well, try it. See what works for you. But there are a lot of crappy supplements out there. There's a reason it's $1 billion industry. It's crazy.
So the citrate is the Mag 07. That's the one that has the citrate.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's more. It won't say it on there. There's a whole science thing behind it, but it's an oxides. That's what they make. Anyway, that one's a good one if you're having trouble with going. If you're not having trouble with going, then don't worry about that one. Just take the magnesium glycinate. Any other symptoms that seem to show up when you're feeling stressed out? Digestion symptoms besides bloating, constipation, and too much. Besides those ones, no.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Okay. So this is a picture from the Canary Islands, off of Spain, which I didn't know where the Canary Islands were. This was my most recent trip. Okay, so physical support. Now, what I'm talking about here is just any movement that's going to support your neurology. Now, remember, we're regulated living. We're not doing what everyone is doing on social media. We're not working through a program of full-on exercise crazy because, I don't know, I want abs. Like, this is not the point. The point is to help use movement, use your body, use what you've got, what God gave you to regulate your nervous system, okay? When you do this, a lot of times, you guys, the fat does come off because your body needs safety. There's a reason that the fat is there, and it's because your body is holding on to it. Two things: it's not safe to detox right now, and it's protecting you emotionally and physically. That is why this happens. Okay, so when we're talking about moving, when you have an over-aroused system, you want to do really calm stuff. You still want to move your body, but you don't want to go hard. Okay, we're not trying to wake it up per se. You're already pretty alert. And anyone who's even in the chaotic stages, which is where you guys would be, I would still get very serious about this part, the over-arousal, more than I'd worry about waking it up. So it's not to do less, to sit. That's not what I'm saying, but it's to move gracefully, to move calmly, make your body chill out, and you can use your movement to do it. So that's the yoga stuff, the gentle yoga. I'm not talking flow, heavy yoga that way. It's just gentle stretching. Slow walks are one of my favorites. First off, I like to walk, but it's funny, I'll count my steps. If I'm having a hard time getting out of my head and I just keep thinking, I make myself count, like counting sheep. I make myself
I've never
count this.
walked anywhere that I haven't counted every step I take.
Really? That's your thing?
That drives me crazy. I can't not do it.
Okay, well, you might need something different than me. Um,
Maybe. Sorry.
that's all right. That's so funny. I don't, that's funny what we pay attention to. I'm more of a don't walk on a crack kind of human. That,
Don't walk on a crack
are
too.
you too?
Yeah.
It's dangerous sometimes, you know?
Yeah.
Yes, so walking is so cool because first off, we talked about the cross patterning, tapping both, different shoulders, your different legs. Did we talk about that?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry. I taught that to that school last week, and then yeah, that was so ingrained in my brain by the end of that day. Um, so yes, you walking is doing that. You're crossing your body. Those things are going to help calm your nervous system down. Um, Qigong is another one that people have tried. It's like you just have to experiment a little bit. Dancing is a great one. I know I have that over on the under aroused one, but the reason why dancing works is because, and I'm not saying like dancing like the perfect dance. You move your body in a way that it doesn't normally move. Your brain has to turn differently. It has to fire differently. So that's why like any kind of movement that you can do that's like a little off. So, like this one, no, this thing.
I
Have you
can't
guys ever
do
tried
it.
that? Yeah, right. But if you make yourself
You're
do some
thinking.
movement like
Yep.
this, like your brain has to shift. It doesn't really have a choice. Lately, and so this is an example. I'm like a prime example of I work on this regulated living all the time because I'm waking up and I'm already feeling a bit like I've got a to-do list in front of me. And I know I'm not the only one that does that when they wake up in the morning. I'm using my left hand to brush my teeth. It takes me forever, but I'm making myself do it because I'm like, this is not how I want to feel when I wake up in the morning. So use movements that you're doing every day to shift your brain. You just kind of get creative with it. Okay, and then the body-based services, and that's, chiropractic care, massage, anything being touched. And this is the physical part because we talked about physical touch as a love language. Not everyone's got this high up on their list, but if you're having trouble with your physical like body getting out of your mind and into your body, first off, go to Thailand and get a massage because you can't talk to them. So
Mm.
they're stretching you and pulling you, and it's a Thai massage is a little bit different. It's not a kneading. It's you grab a foot and they're stretching it around and all the things. So you're in your body. You're in your body and you're out of your mind. So anything that's like the physical piece is important. To bring you to the physical piece, but you're meditating. You're meditating while you're getting worked on, meaning you're only focusing where they're at when you're getting worked on. It's really, really nice to have somebody help you sometimes, especially when you're stuck. Any questions on this one? Okay. Now we get to the mental regulation. This is what I don't know if you guys follow my newsletters or my podcast much, but this is what I've been talking about all the time is this overthinking, brain fog, having trouble with memory, having trouble focusing, all these things. So when we're having an over-aroused mind, if this is what's showing up in your life is some overthinking, you're ruminating on thoughts, things that have been happening for a while, you just can't let them go. You have racing thoughts, looping thoughts, as in like I stopped thinking about it and now I'm back at it again. Can't solve problems, those sorts of things. That's an over-aroused mind. When we have an under-aroused mind, we're looking at more of the brain fog, not connecting the dots. I often talk about cobwebs in my brain. You get tired, mentally tired really quickly, difficult focusing, concentrating, lack of mental clarity or drive. So almost like your brain isn't firing on all cylinders. So what can we do to regulate this? What's probably the easiest thing to do? What's probably the worst thing to do? Stay in your mind. Good luck changing your mind by staying in it. Pretty difficult. So, if you're seeing that these things are happening, we need to get out of our head. So, there's a lot of tools for that. You guys have been practicing them for weeks now, for 3 weeks. You can, and I'm not talking meditation like, oh, let me just stop thinking. Okay. We're talking body scans. We're talking maybe you're on a walk and you look for 5 things that are brown, 3 things that are yellow, whatever, just like becoming really present with the environment around you. You can, yeah, usually it's using movement. You can use vibration. These are like, I don't know, a lot of people have different vibrating things like a Theraguns and vibe plates. Vibration helps. You can use pressure, you can use massage on yourself, right? The main thing is we have to get out of our heads. What do you think causes overthinking in the first place?
I don't know.
There's too much going on.
So are you thinking and solving, or are you just thinking in like why does it stay there? Why is it easier for us to stay in our heads?
I'd say stuff that you just haven't. When I overthink, it's did I say the wrong thing? Did I do the wrong thing? I should have, I could have, and it just goes in a circle, and no, nothing gets solved.
Right. Yeah, so it's not necessarily to-do lists, right? Sometimes it
Right.
is. Sometimes it is, but a lot of times
I'd
it
say
may
I
not be.
overthink out of anxiousness.
Anxiousness.
Hmm.
Okay. So there is a practice we do where you can get to the base of what this is coming from. So when I hear that I overthink, I feel like I said the wrong things, those different things, right, Penny, like you said. When those things are happening, if in order for you to be wrong, say the wrong things, whatever, like what also must be true? Does that make sense? What also must be true? If those things are how you're feeling, like what also must be true?
Um, Lack of confidence.
Sure, yeah. Okay. So lack of confidence. And then in order for you, thank you for being my guinea pig here. In order for you to have a lack of confidence, what also must be true?
Goodness.
Right? It's a little
We're
bit
just getting
deeper.
really deep here.
It's going to get real deep. But it's really cool because there's only like everyone's only got like 2 or 3 of these baseline things. You figure this one out, you can clear everything else up. Every emotion out that you'd ever want to clear out, you can get it. Okay, so confidence. If I lack confidence, what else must be true?
No.
What do you think, girls? Because I know that you have
What
had some
would it
confidence
be
things too.
would it be happy with your body, with yourself?
Okay, so
Okay.
if I'm not happy with myself, if I'm not happy with my body, what else must be true?
Hmm.
It's a deep-rooted core limiting belief here. If I feel unhappy with who I am, I'm uncomfortable talking or making a wrong choice. I'm not confident. I am insecure. I want to play small. I don't want to be in a room.
Fear
I
of
say the wrong.
failure.
Okay, great. So if I'm a failure, then what else must be true?
You're still not
I
getting
know, we're
there.
getting there. Okay, a failure. Great.
Please other people instead of be yourself.
Okay, so if you can't be yourself, what must be true about you? Almost there, I think.
It is what it is. You are who you are.
Yeah, but you're not okay with that. Why?
Right. Oh gosh.
Hmm.
Comparison.
Great. Okay, so you're comparing with somebody else because you are
Scared.
are
Nervous.
what? Sorry.
Anxious.
Anxious. Okay.
Scared. Nervous.
Okay, I'm going to say a word and I want you to only connect with it if you feel like it's true. If I am not confident, if I'm insecure, if I lack um, communication, if I say the wrong things, if I don't like the way I look, if I struggle being in a room, if I'm a failure, all those things, if those are things that I'm putting on myself, I am lacking, or if in order for those things to be true, then I must be unworthy. You must be unworthy of all things.
I say I'm unworthy a lot.
Unworthy, which is a deep, deep thing. That's not I'm a failure. That's not I make mistakes. That's not I don't like my body. That is a deep, deep thing. That's a deep core belief. Now, here's the deal. Mostly everything that you are feeling, if you can go to that one core belief and knock that one out, you're going to knock all of it out. I was I just had this work done, and I was at a concert, and I saw my ex-husband for the first time, and for some reason I was having the great time, and then all of a sudden everything just went down, and I kind of just felt like my whole system just like shroom, get small. You better just stand here and pretend like you're not having a fun time because you're going through something crappy and everyone should see that you feel like shit, right? So I was unworthy to have fun. But I had just done that work and I instantly said, I am worthy. I am worthy. In my head, just I am worthy. And I stood up taller and taller, but I had to like knock that belief in. And you guys, it instantly changed my demeanor. I'm not saying like I wasn't going through something shitty, but it was gone. Like the way I felt, I could feel like myself again. So if you can find like this one, this is probably a big one for most, and it's my core belief as well, or it seems to be as I'm moving through it. But that's what I can go to. I don't need to go to and say, oh, you can say what you want. Oh, you look good in the mirror. No, I am worthy of being here. That's all it is. I am worthy. And you knock out so many of those insecurities that you're trying to figure out what they are. It's not worth it. It's not worth it to dig in sometimes. It's better just to get to the core issue and knock it out. So I don't like to if I'm already overthinking, it's not going to help me to like ruminate and try to figure out why I'm feeling a certain way. I can go to this one thing and I can support it and see what changes from there. Is that helpful?
Yeah.
Cool. So that's what I was going to talk about in the emotional part, but maybe I'll have something else to bring up during the emotional piece. Okay, so clearing the mind. When we clear the mind, a lot of times it has nothing to do with the mind, and it's a lot of times just not paying attention to what the mind is saying. I mean, you're going to have some thoughts all the time. It's pretty tough to clear those out. The best of the best meditation gurus out there will say they still have thoughts, you know. It's not that they're all gone, but it's a matter of what you're focusing on. And if we're focusing on worthiness, if we're focusing on your heart, if we're focusing on your body, these things will all start to shift and our mind can calm down. There's some limiting beliefs that this is a podcast that actually you guys, if you haven't listened to it, I would go back and I would go listen to it on the Brilliant Wonders podcast. And it's the 3 limiting beliefs that keep you stuck around overthinking. And those are Fear-based typically, that I'm going to forget it, that I'm not smart enough, those sorts of things. It kind of helps you see where the overthinking is coming from. Overthinking does not make you smarter, unfortunately. It doesn't make you smarter. Um, it keeps you stuck. And it's typically a safety thing from the get-go. So that's why this is so important. All of this is around feeling safe. And us women, unfortunately, it's just how we're wired. It's really, we think about safety more than a man ever will. And we might not even think it in a way of, I don't feel safe. It shows up in different ways. Overthinking, being in your head all the time, that is a way of knowing that you're just not feeling safe. It doesn't mean that you're like, getting beat up or something. That's not what I'm saying. But there's something around you that does not feel safe. And it's a matter of not trying to figure it out, but just proving to yourself that you are. Proving to yourself that you are safe. Like you have control of this one thing, this spot, right? And supporting it and being compassionate towards yourself, those are the things that are going to create safety within you. Okay, so emotions. We've talked about some emotions already and how to knock them out. But what are some emotions that you feel on a regular basis? Good, bad, ugly, doesn't really matter. Just name one.
Overwhelmed.
Overwhelmed. Okay. So an overwhelm typically is a vision problem. And I'm not saying eyesight, but overwhelm is like, I have this vision and I'm having trouble making it happen. So I'm going to do all these things, right? So instead of going to the overwhelm, I would start looking at, your vision. How is this going to look? What is realistic? What is in front of me? Are these expectations or are they standards? So every emotion you can start to kind of pinpoint what is the actual issue. That it's just something that's going to show up, right? So as you start getting better at this, you'll start to see like, oh, I don't need to work on the overwhelm. I think I need to change my perspective. Something like that. Frustrated is another one. Frustration, when you're feeling frustrated, it's a resources problem. Meaning, I don't have the resources to do the things that I'm wanting to do, to be who I want to be, whatever it is. If you're feeling frustrated, it's a resources issue. So you either need to ask for help, stop doing what you're doing, whatever. Like change, again, you can change your perspective, but it's normally a resources problem. Any others, things that we feel?
Well, for me, occasionally, it's not all the time, but there are things that will trigger a deep sadness.
The sadness.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sad is actually a core emotion. Anger is not. Sad is. So if you're feeling sad, I wouldn't go a whole lot deeper into it other than you need to grieve it and spending time with it. It's not an emotion that you want to go away. I mean, you don't want to feel it, but it's one that you want to feel. And you are at the root of it. You're not at an emotion that's, kind of hiding the real issue. It's a real one. Anger is typically sadness, which it's easier to feel anger than it is to feel sad.
Yeah, I swore at the wind today, so put the grandkids around.
And I'm sure it listened.
A door away from me, and I swore at it.
Good. That's great. Yeah, sadness is a big one. Grief is a huge one. Those are, they're not the same thing, but they kind of are.
Yeah, they're different. They're different. Yeah,
they're different. Grief is the action, I guess, of it. Like there's like a process. There's a grief process, sadness. It's not necessarily a process, but most likely, when we aren't able to feel sad or it's not appropriate to feel sad, it's more appropriate to feel anger, which is crazy, but it is. It's handled better. People can't handle sadness very well, so we're not supported in it when we're young. Sadness is typically in the throat.
Mm.
Yeah, it's right here.
You can feel it. You can, yeah, you can feel
It's
it.
right here.
Yep.
Yeah. And a lot of times, if you're trying to open that up, Susan, you use your voice. So instead of just, if you're wanting to process it quicker, either you talk it out on your walk, you write it out, but it's using your voice is going to help move that through you. And then, of course, your heart. But anyone else have one they want to work through? Okay. Any more questions on this one? I do have a question for you. Like, if you were to think of a regulated life, are you feeling emotions in it?
Yes.
Yeah, right?
Yes. Yes.
100%. Yeah.
You don't have emotions, you're not living.
No. Right. So it's not that we're trying to get rid of them by any means. We just don't want to be scared of them. We want them to they help guide us through what our soul needs, really. And if we can use them as a guidepost, as some flags of what's going on in my life. How's my soul feeling? Like checking in with it. That's your emotions. It's not feelings. That's not reactions. I'm not talking about any of those. It's like emotions inside. A reaction is external. We're talking about the internal stuff. Like we want to feel those. When you're more regulated, you may not react on them as an outward piece. You can sorry, my screen just blanked. You still see me?
Yeah.
Okay, good. You can, where was I at? Oh yeah, so with emotions, with the reactions and that you're going to feel them. You feel them on the inside. When people see you a certain way, that's a reaction, and that is an external thing. Remember, emotions are internal and you own them. You get them. You get to experience the joy. You get to experience the happiness. No one else gets to experience that. Those are yours. Now, when you shed your feelings, people experience those, right? But your emotions are yours. You get to have them. You're the only one who gets to experience them, and they're beautiful. But they can also, just like your physical body can tell you when you've went too hard, done too much, tells you what's going on, tells you that you've been sitting for too long. Your physical body tells you those things. Your emotional body does the same. It's just being able to listen to them and understand them and be compassionate with them. Okay, so there's a couple of things that I want to talk about here is when you have an emotion, I want you to feel it from here on out, okay? Make a pact with yourself that if I have an emotion, I'm going to feel it. We are pushing them down way too often, and they aren't moving through our bodies. So then they're stuck in there. They're stuck in the fascia. We'll get into fascia at some point, but that is what's happening. And then we have physical manifestations of emotions. And then then we think that our emotion or our physical being that's hurting or not working, and we're frustrated with our body, it's coming from an emotion that hasn't been processed yet. So we want to help move these things through our body. And we get clearer messages from our body too once we've gotten rid of some of these thorns that aren't necessarily a physical problem. So first off, feel the emotion. Do not judge it at all. No one else knows that you're feeling it, okay? You don't have to be embarrassed about it. It's just in there, okay? Give it a timeline. If you are like, I am so freaking pissed right now, I'm going to be as pissed as I can be for the next hour or for the next 5 hours. I don't even care. Like, pick a time that you feel that's right for you. and it's at noon, and then I'm like going to be done at, I'm like, okay, I'll be done at 5, but I'm going to be pissed until 5. And I'm not joking. I will do whatever. I will hit pillows. I will, whatever it needs to be to get that feeling out, because I'm done at 5, and that's it. Sometimes if you actually feel it, you're like done early and you're like, oh, okay, I didn't realize that I could be done that quick. But just give it a timeline, put a timeline on it, and feel the heck out of it for that whole time. If you only have 1 minute, then you're like, okay, give me 1 minute. I'm going to feel the heck out of this. And you go internally and you feel it. You feel it fully, and then you come out. Put yourself in timeout a little bit. Okay, journaling is awesome. It's expressive writing. It is like, if you want to be the most efficient at it ever, you have paper and a pencil, old school number 2 pencil. That vibration of that, it helps get everything out. I don't have a pencil. I use a pen pretty often, but if you're wanting to be super efficient at something, you scribble it all out. And here's the deal. Journals and all that stuff, you can just burn it or throw it away. If you want to keep it to see what's been going on over many years, then you can keep it, but you can throw it away. Like, people don't need to see it. It can be on the back of a receipt, whatever, like just whatever's going on that's happening, just like journal it out really quick, bullet it out. Helps your brain kind of figure out what's actually happening, slows it down a little bit, and then you can actually feel what's going on, the real stuff. Because once you've been triggered once, like all of a sudden you have like 5 different emotions showing up all the time. Right? It's like I was pissed, but now I'm insecure, and now I'm feeling, sad or regretful or whatever. Like, it just kind of keeps going. So once you start journaling it out, you can start to see like, oh, okay, this is where it actually started, and you learn a lot about yourself that way. That's the whole point. And then notice your habits. When I called my mom one time. I was supposed to go to Costa Rica, actually. I was supposed to go to Costa Rica, and I'd lost my passport. I was leaving the next day. I thought it was in a box. I had just moved out of Linton to back to Bismarck. So it was a little bit hairy, not the best of times to call and say, hey, by the way, did I leave a passport at their aunt or at the farm? Anyway, so I had called my mom, and it's so funny because I told her about it. And she said, and I called her back, and I was like, oh my gosh, I found it. And I was like, but I just ate a whole bag of chips in the meantime. She's like, I have been eating bread nonstop since you talked to me. And so it runs deep. Emotional eating runs deep in our family. But that is what I noticed. Like, if I didn't even know I was upset, but I have a habit that I tend to go to. And that is what I might catch before I ever felt dysregulated. Does that make sense to anyone? Yeah.
Like if
So,
you
yeah.
you wanted to eat chips and you didn't even know that something was bothering you? Is that what you're saying?
No, I have.
No.
So it's very, very obvious that something was bothering me then. Like that,
Okay.
I knew it, but I grabbed for food. But I will do that unconsciously sometimes, right? Like, I just can't get full, and whatever. Like,
Right.
there's
That's what I
things
was
that,
getting at. Yeah.
yeah, there's things that I feel, or not that I feel. There's things that I do, but I'm not aware because I'm so in my mind on my own, like, future, not present. I'm just like out there that I'm not regulated, right? So there's habits that I do, I tend to lean towards when I'm dysregulated. Healthy or not, it doesn't matter which ones. I'd rather lean towards a healthy habit, right, than an unhealthy one. But there are things that I do or crave when I know something's wrong. I crave massages. Not all the time. I've never really been a massage girl, but I crave massages when I have not had enough physical touch in my life. And that's a hug or being around my nieces and nephews. It's not intimacy. It's all the time or anything like that. It's like I need to be touched. I feel very, kind of like I want to crawl out of my skin, and like sad. Grief will show up for me. But I didn't realize that. So when I was on my trip, that was a big light bulb moment for me, was that I hadn't been touched by anybody for months, you know? So then I was feeling pretty uncomfortable and just in my own skin, but I didn't know what the reasoning was. And so that was, but it was a familiar feeling. It's a familiar feeling, but I didn't know why. Anyway, so I decided to get this massage, and I felt so much better afterwards. And I was like, wow, it was not a great massage. That wasn't the piece. That was not the missing link. But then now I have a piece to my toolbox of this is the emotion I'm feeling, or this is how I'm feeling in my body. I'm missing this piece pretty often. I can jump to that versus something that's not healthy. Does that make sense a bit?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Yeah. So you'll start recognizing some of those things. All right, I got 1 minute to cover environment. Okay, environmental regulation. This is what we are in and around. Your stack of papers, Penny, I'm so proud of you. They're gone. Your environment feels better. And guess what? Your nervous system will feel better. I'm not saying you need a spick and span like house, all the things, but whatever is feeling cluttered in your environment will clutter your mind and will clutter your nervous system. What bothers me won't bother Penny. What bothers Penny won't bother me. Right? We're very different, but notice what things do bother you and what things don't. And sometimes you guys like this, we don't always have time to do the things. Sometimes you got to hire this stuff out. Sometimes we need to ask for help to help clean up our environment. Okay, any questions on this one? This can be finances, this can be your car, this can be your yard, this can be, I can't find what I'm wanting to wear. Some people, environment, they only wear black shirts.
That's
They are
me.
done, right? You're
I'm more
done.
than
You're like,
black.
I don't want, this
It's
is good for
easy.
me. Maybe
Classy.
yeah, it is classy. You're right. You're right. But it's true, right? Like sometimes it's just, we need to simplify a lot of things, especially when you're dysregulated, you guys. That's the big one. When you're regulated, you might feel a little bit more creative in all the things. But when you're dysregulated, like you just need to clean up the things, organize some things, let your brain chill out. And that may mean that you need to go to a hotel room for a night or two and peace out from the mess. That's okay. But just know, like, if you're having some issues with anything, with feeling like you're in your head or you're dysregulated, you're in pain, like these things, like sometimes just changing your environment will completely shift everything. Regulate a bit and then come back into it and be like, okay, what does need to be taken care of here? Just give yourself a little time out sometimes. That's very healthy. Okay. We already talked about those. Okay. And I just wanted, and I know I honed this in the beginning, is that I am not telling you that everything is going to be beautiful and you can handle, regulated living is not that you never have stress, that you're calm and collected all the time, that you are like even keel. Like, no, you are up and down. You're feeling it all. You're experiencing every freaking day. You're there for it. The good and the bad, you're connecting with humans. Like, that's what's going to happen when you're regulated. Animals will start to love you. Like, that's just how it goes because your nervous system is regulated. The things that'll start to show up in your life are going to look very different. As in opportunities, they'll look like more like peaceful and connected with you in a way. Like, it's going to be easy to make the right decisions on stuff. You'll know what's right. You'll know what's wrong. You'll know what's next for your family. You'll be able to help other people make decisions for themselves. They will regulate with you. They'll follow along with you. So riding those waves, understanding that you're going to feel all the feels, that's not the point. The point is that we don't break down our bodies and become unhealthy living the life that we love. I think a lot of us have a very good idea and a wonderful idea of what we want, how we want to impact others, our families, the world. However, we're breaking down in the process, and that's what I don't want for anyone. I want us to feel different that way. Okay. Any questions? It's a lot of information. We're on week 4 somehow already. So, week 4 is you know what to do nervous system regulation wise. After this is when you start to build your own thing. However, I do want to say if you're already or if you're not feeling safe yet, then we're going to start over and start with week 1 and work through it all again. But if you're feeling like you're feeling pretty good, then we need to start doing a little bit more individualized and figure out what actually works for you. Maybe some of the things that you experienced were like those weren't great, and some of them were really good. Just depends on you. So I want to make sure that you have a good plan for yourself moving forward, and we have 6 weeks to play with it. So finish this week out, try the things, and then then we'll see where it goes from there. We didn't regulate today, I'm sorry, but I knew this was going to take a little bit to get through.
And I apologize. I was connected to my TV because I was watching the basketball game, and
is the game over?
Well, I was watching the Bowman boys.
Okay.
They were up in Killdeer, so that's what I had on. But I know the Rancher girls were on too. So
were they doing okay?
I don't know. I didn't check. The boys ended up winning.
Before this started at halftime, they were up by 5.
Okay.
But it was pretty close. It was back and forth quite a bit.
Got it. State games are just there's a lot of stuff that happens there. So emotions. Talk about emotions, right?
Yes.
Sports
are just emotions as a parent.
Sports are the best for it. It's like if you want to bring out an emotion, like let's do it. Okay, awesome guys.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, we'll see you next week. Make sure you message me with any questions.
Okay.
Okay?
Yep.
All right, bye.
Yep. Bye.